take control of your life. Make a decision that you personally make that will change the path of what you do. Welcome to Expat Mental Meanderings, where we explore the meandering mind of pre-pats and expats around the world as they ponder how to make living abroad work for them. Today we want to talk about 5 reasons why it's fantastic to be an expat. And all of these reasons really kind of have to do with us as a person, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about you, not where you go or whatever, but why you go and what you're getting out of it. So let's talk about item number 1. Item number 1 is adventure. Yeah, adventure. You remember that word that you talk to your kids about all the time? The adventures of this, adventures of that. And you get your child to be, imagining, some cool thing. They read a book about, a bunch of kids doing the boring homework, but a dog is lost. And they have to, solve the mystery of the missing dog. Go on an adventure, right? This is common when we talk to our kids about that. But somehow along the way, on the way to adulthood, when we get there, we lose that, right? For some reason. Just get into life and work and taxes and houses and cars and all the things we gotta do as responsible adults. And this sense of adventure, it just disappears. Well, get it back. Get it back. And this is one way to do that. Change it up a little bit and add some, as they say, spice to life and interest to life. And, go on an expat adventure. Doesn't have to be forever. But that sense of newness, that sense of something different, something interesting, can have a powerful rejuvenation effect in your life. Even if you do it for a few years and you go back home, good for you. Good for you. You did something different. So, adventure, one thing. What goes along with adventure is item number 2, which is exploration. So, while you're on your adventure, do something there, right? I could take my virtual job that I had in Florida, transport it to here in Ecuador, and do the exact same thing here I was doing in Tampa, and nothing else. But what sense does that make? If you live in Georgia, don't you drive up to Tennessee, to the mountains every once in a while, and your favorite place on the beach in the Carolinas, or drop down to Florida for some more sun? Don't you explore around where you live? Well, why would you move to Peru and sit in an apartment in Peru and do nothing else? Get out. Check out Peru. And by the way, since you're in the area, where I live in Ecuador is pretty cool. My wife's from Chile. That's fantastic. Argentina and Brazil are, a hop, skip, and a jump away. Take a look. Explore. Do something interesting. Do something different. Item number 2. Then we kind of get into item number 3, which is kind of affects all of these things, which is enriching your life through your economics. Now, what does that mean? To become an expat, you got to fund it somehow, some way, right? One way to fund it is, I have my job in the States and I transplant it over here. I have my income and everything else. So now I live in another country with my job from, whether it's the States or France or Germany or UK or Australia, it doesn't matter. I still have my salary. Great. In many cases, you will do better, if not significantly better economically as a result of that. What does it afford you now as far as the nature and character of your adventure, the nature and character of your exploration, right? What if you choose to be a digital nomad? You're still working virtually, but you're staying in different countries, 2-3 different countries a year, working virtually, and just seeing different things, interacting with different people, having different experiences, right? That's another way to enrich in your life and see things that way. Why don't we just choose to go to another country and work there, get a job, and really get into the local culture, the local way of doing things, and literally living your life there like anybody else? That's another way to enrich in your life. So think about your economics and how you choose to do this and how you can use that as a benefit for you to really enjoy this expat adventure of yours. Item number 4 kind of comes down to what all the other things are to talk about, which is people. I gotta tell you, the people I've met while traveling are amazing. The perspectives you get on the world and on life through other people's eyes will forever change you. You know what it's like? Most chefs after school, they will go and study under 3, 4, 5, 6 different chefs in different parts of the world or whatever to learn different techniques and all those kind of things. But what they're also actually doing is figuring out how to define themselves. They'll take a little bit from Chef 1 and Chef 2 and Chef 3 and Chef 4 and the techniques from these different types of cuisine. They'll do all of that to define Chef me. Who am I? Well, let me tell you, when you travel and you meet people who have traveled also and locals who have not traveled in other places, and you see their perspectives and how they see the world and how they interact with the world and their fears and their joys and their challenges and their experiences, let me tell you, you just become a better you. And you look at the news and you look at the world and you look at things simply differently. And sometimes when that happens and you go back home and interact perhaps with people who just haven't done that, who have this kind of one way of seeing the world, you go, wow, that was me. But now you're a better you. You see things different. And that's a powerful thing. And I think item number 5 now is one of the, along with 4, one of the most powerful things is that you have decided to be the master of your own destiny. You have taken the wheel of your own life and you have willfully decided to change the course of your life. All by yourself. And you, in doing so, have accepted the good or perhaps bad consequences that come with it. You know, as so many of us live through this life, and we come out from being kids, wherever we live, there's kind of a course that's laid out in front of us, right? My family were all tradesmen, electricians or plumbers or whatever, so that's kind of where I go. It's kind of what I do. My family, well, we all went to college and we all became engineers, and that's kind of, and sometimes very clearly conveyed to you, and sometimes unclearly conveyed. Everyone thinks, well, that's what you will do. You will do that. That's what the McDonald family does, right? I'm not saying that's wrong, but the question is that truly your choice? If you say that's what I want to, I've considered all these other things, and the answer is no, I want to do this, well, good for you. But if you're just kind of going down the path and raise your head when you're 30, 35, 40 years old and go, where am I? And why am I here? Therein lies the rub. So this expat decision, and this is one of many you could make, right? If you make this decision, it's one example of how you've said to yourself, I control my path in this life. And when you do that once, man, let me tell you, it affects everything else that you do. So there you go, 5 great things about becoming an expat, and really, once again, looking in, not just the external stuff, but the internal stuff. Put adventure back in your life. Phenomenal. Along with that adventure, you put exploration. See, learn, do different things. Enrich your life through the power of your different economics. However you choose to do that, it has implications. Enriching your life that way. People. Wow. Cool, interesting, fascinating, educational, thrilling people. Go find them. Go see them. Be one of them yourself. And finally, take control of your life. Make a decision that you personally make that will change the path of what you do. And use that to run through the rest of your life. What will we talk about next? Well, what are some of the drawbacks? What are some of the challenges that are real in making this happen? We'll talk about that next time. See you then. And keep your mind meandering.